Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti from anthonymorganti.com, and this is episode 183 of Photo Critiques. And in this episode, I'm pleased to critique the work of Daniel Hefty. Daniel sent me in some really small shots. They were very tiny, so I had to enlarge them so we could see them. And so we lost some resolution. So it's going to be difficult for me to comment on things related to resolution because it might be because I blew the pictures up so large. Also, there's no camera information and lens information on any of the shots, no exposure information, so I can't really comment on that. So I'll do the best I can on the critique. It's mainly going to be about composition. This first shot here, it's kind of an interesting shot. I don't know if this is a prison and these are the fences, but it's a pretty interesting shot. One thing, we kind of get a moire pattern when you photograph things like this. That's things a camera has trouble reproducing, and it comes out with this kind of weird colors, and I can't really zoom in to show you because, as I mentioned, the shots were so small to begin with. So you got to kind of understand the limitations of your camera and what it can and cannot do, and cameras always have a hard time reproducing anything like this that has these deep, like, graded kind of features to it. um, for instance, now some cameras, they, or really all digital cameras, they have a little filter over the sensor that helps eliminate this. Except for the Nikon D800E, which is the camera I have, they actually took that filter off to give you more resolution. So if I shot this same scene with the D800E, it would be even worse. We'd see extreme moire pattern here. With the D800, you wouldn't see it, but the trade-off is you get a lot better, crisper shot with the D800E. Well, I shouldn't say a lot better, but you get a better, crisper shot. So you got to kind of understand the limitations of your camera to certain things, and in this case it would be moire patterns when you're photographing these types of things. It's a really interesting shot. I like the composition. I like the study with the shadow and everything. It's blurry though. It's not really well in focus. Now it's partly blurry because of the resolution, but it is just blurry in general because I don't think it was really tightly focused. It looks like the focus is better on the ground. So I'd like to see you, really work on getting the focus and focus on the subject. Make sure it's real tight and use an adequate aperture so you get enough depth of field so the entire part of the subject that you want to show off is in focus. This shot here, it's the ship in the harbor. The sky is nothing there. The water's not very interesting. Looks like it was a very kind of smoggy, hazy day. So it's a tough shot to do. Again, it's kind of limitations of your camera and limitations of the day. I like the framing. I like what you did, and splash of color in this kind of low color area is kind of nice too. This shot here I like a lot. Again, we have some specular highlights here. Look really nice. Again, it doesn't look like it's really in tight focus on the subject. Also, the shadows are really dark. As you can see in the man's shirt, they're very dark. So you might want to come in here and just open up shadows a bit. And you can see opening up shadows doesn't really affect the rest of the picture. It's just in the dark areas. And now we could see some texture in the man's shirt. But as I mentioned, it is a little bit out of focus. This next shot too is resolution because I blew it up so much. It's hard to see a lot of detail. It's a nice shot. I like the composition. I like the way you have it kind of going diagonally through the frame. Again, it's kind of dark in the shadows. If you want to open up shadows a little bit, I think it would help the shot. Also, as you look at the shot, the sky really isn't interesting. The background is marginally interesting. We do have a lot of people back here, but it's very hazy. So if you could work this scene and try to get the boat to be more dominant, maybe the people in the shot to be more featured, and try to eliminate some of the sky, which really doesn't add anything to the shot. This is a great shot. I really like this shot a lot. We have a nice, splash of color. It's nicely composed. The two people are sitting, equidistant apart with them on either side of the frame. Busy background, but it's kind of an interesting background which kind of holds your interest, and lots of different colors, so it's really a nice shot. This is another one, study a color, very well done. I like this shot a lot. Again though, focus isn't real tight. You could see where the subjects are relatively blurry. And in this case, you really want their legs to be in focus. And then you could have the rest of the fish netting to be out of focus, where it be, like be out of focus up here and out of focus back here. But it's just kind of a nice study of color, and it's kind of a cool shot. This too, the color's very interesting. The smoke, very cool shot. Again, you did a really nice job. Now see, in this scene here, there's really that boring sky, and the other scene isn't in it. You eliminated that. So it's a really cool shot. Resolution is a problem, but as I said, I did blow this up. So I'm not sure if that's because of a focus issue, or maybe I don't know what kind of camera you used. Maybe you used like a compact camera or a phone camera or something like that. So that could give you a resolution issue too. But so in general, be careful your focus. Make sure you're using an f-stop. Like in this case, you'd want to use an f-stop around f11, so you get enough depth of field to get everything nice and focused. It's an interesting shot. We got the two signs. I don't know what they say technically, but they're pretty cool. It's a nice shot. I think that's the last one. Yep, that's it. Thank you very much, Daniel, for sharing your work with us. I really do appreciate it. I'd like to thank everyone that watches all my videos. Thank you very much. If you guys have time, go over to my website, anthonymorganti.com. I have all kinds of photography stuff over there. And if you have time, I'd really appreciate it if you went over to YouTube and subscribed to my YouTube channel. My YouTube username is Anthony Morganti. And that's it for now. I'll talk to you guys soon.